What is up, everybody? It's Daniel Rock 08 back here on a video, and you know what? Tonight it's SummerSlam. Am I excited about it? Not a whole lot. There's some matches. Actually, there's just about one or two matches that I'm kind of intrigued about, and the other matches I don't give a rat's ass about. You have Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella here, who's been given so much time, and if you ask me, probably the most time of any of these matches on here. Of all the feuds on here, this one's been given the most time, honestly. And honestly, it's just a terrible, terrible build. Just an awful. They sit there, legitimately gave me a freaking affair storyline here that they stole from TNA. So you're telling me Daniel Bryan, who has Brie Bella married, he could bang her every single night, pretty much. And he's going to have that piece of ass on the side? I don't think so. You seen her? She's not a whole lot good looking. Especially when he has Brie Bella. You're going to want something interesting here? I don't want to see it. But you want something interesting, something intriguing maybe? Have Nikki out there and have the affair with Daniel Bryan. That would truly be more believable. I don't want to see it, but it'd be much more believable, I think. But overall, this match is just going to be stupid. You have Stephanie McMahon, who wrestles every once in a blue freaking moon. But you know what? She is the McMahon. And every time you put a McMahon in a match, it is somewhat entertaining. Look at Vince. Look at Shane McMahon's matches. However, with this, I don't think we're going to get anything entertaining, anything rememberable, or at least we want to remember at all. I think it would be terrible. I think it might be one of the worst matches we could ever see. I hope it only gets maybe 2 or 3 matches. Why should I be intrigued about it? Why? So maybe Nikki Bella can turn heel on Brie? And yeah, I really want to see that, people. I really want to see Nikki versus Brie. Ooh, Total Divas rule, bitches. Fuck that. Next, flag match. Swagger versus Rusev. Well, their match at Battleground was very disappointing. Ended in a head scratcher of a countout. Ruined Jack Swagger, in my opinion. I thought he should have won that match and really elevate his career a little bit more. Give him some build up. This is a flag match. I hope this delivers. The Battleground match sucked, but could deliver. I hope Swagger pulls out the victory. I don't really care that much, though, but I want Swagger to kind of win in Rusev's reign of terror. We get AJ Lee versus Paige in a Divas match. Yeah, we get 2 women's matches. That's pretty good, you think, but honestly, the feud hasn't been that great. It's been more like, oh, they're just best friends, and then Paige turns on AJ Lee. So, it's kind of eh. Hopefully this match delivers. The Battleground match was a little disappointing. I think maybe Paige will pull out the victory, though. Next up, Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. I'm going to talk about that match. This is a match that potentially could steal the show. I don't know if it will. I don't think it will. But it could show how big of a superstar Roman Reigns could be. But it also could be a real stink fest. You know, it could be a real slow match. It could be really, really boring. I mean, Randy Orton's been known to have boring matches, and Roman Reigns isn't as exciting as the other 2 former Shield members were. So it could potentially be disastrous, and it can't be disastrous, because if it is, then a lot of people will turn their heads and say, yeah, Roman Reigns is not ready. Roman Reigns will not be a world champion. Roman Reigns will not be a main event player. He might end up being Mark Jindrak. He might end up being Test. And he's just a big guy who has the look, but doesn't deliver. It needs to deliver, and it needs to deliver in a big way. Because Roman Reigns needs this to be a great match. It just needs to be. It's a good build-up. It's a good setup. I'd rather have Roman Reigns versus Triple H, but I feel maybe he beats Randy Orton. This is a great match for him, and then he's ready for Triple H. And I think maybe giving him Triple H here at SummerSlam would be a little bit too rushed, perhaps. And maybe give him maybe at Night of Champions. That'd be fine. Could be a great match, though. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler for the IC belt. You have two former world champions in here. You think that'd be great. Great build-up and everything for the IC belt. Maybe that could potentially rise up the prestige of the title. And you know, it's interesting. Every time The Miz is the Intercontinental Champion, they seem to give him some sort of feud in some sort of way. But I don't know about this. Really, all it's been is just The Miz on Raw doing a bunch of commentary during Ziggler's matches and then interfering. Not a whole lot there. Not a whole lot of steak to the sizzle, nor the other way around. Not a whole lot of sizzle to the steak, if you ask me. But it could potentially be a good opener or whatever it's placed on the card. Then we get to Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. And this match, I believe, has the potential the most to steal the show, to be match of the night. Because it's really been the best build-up. By far, all the matches, by far, the best build-up. Kind of head-scratcher why the briefcase is not on the line, but I feel that maybe Dean Ambrose doesn't really want the briefcase. He wants his revenge on Seth Rollins for turning his back on the Shield. So, when that a lot of sense, it makes sense. There's no place to hide, no place to run. They could have made it a steel cage match, but we've seen how steel cage match has been going out. So they made it a lumberjack match, and I feel this stipulation could potentially work. Lumberjack matches typically go the same fashion. You know, the good guy gets thrown out and the heels beat him up on the outside, then the heel gets thrown out on the heel side. They don't beat him up, they help him out, and vice versa, whatever. But this could work. This really could work, and I feel these two guys can make it work. If this is match of the night, we can see Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins in the limelight, and this could very potentially make them huge superstars. Very, very important for this match to succeed in both men's careers. They've had great matches in the past in FCW, but this is the big stage. This is the biggest party of the summer. This is the biggest blockbuster of the summer. So it needs to deliver. Then we get to the main event. And the main event's the biggest fight of the year, biggest fight of the summer, whatever it's called. And yeah, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about it. Because in my opinion, it's just a lose-lose situation here. You have Brock Lesnar, you give him the belt. He's a part-timer. You're not going to see him a whole lot. Why give him the belt? He's a part-timer. He doesn't deserve it. Sure, he beats the streak. But that's a different thing. Here's the champ. This is the title. This is supposed to be the biggest prize in the industry, and you're handing it to a part-timer, a guy who's going to be there, here and there, and few and far in between dates. Why? Well, you gave him the streak. You might as well give him the belts. And then you have John Cena. What if he wins? Yeah, what if he wins, dumb dicks? Then he becomes the ultimate heel. He beats the man who beats the streak. Then who's there left for him to beat? Absolutely nobody. Who do you have him feud with? I don't fucking know. But another thing about Brock Lesnar that kind of pisses me off is everyone seems to want him to be the world champion. Everyone seems to like him being the world champion. Why? You guys pissed and moaned, bitched and complained, and got super pissed off when The Rock won the WWE Championship. And now all of a sudden you turn a 180 and in loving the fact that Lesnar could potentially win the title? How fickle can you fucks be? Yeah, The Rock beats CM Punk. But Brock Lesnar beats John Cena, and we don't like John Cena being the world champion because same old shit. And CM Punk is the best in the freaking world. Bap, bap, bap. Oh, shut up. But another thing is about Brock Lesnar winning the title. See, get this. Brock Lesnar wins, beats John Cena, and gets the title. Think of it this way. That means John Cena gets a rematch clause, huh? Doesn't it? And we all know who gets who in the end. Who in the end gets the upper hand? Who wins in the end? John Cena wins. You have a rematch at Night of Champions. Brock Lesnar enters the top champion. Who's going to win, dumb dicks? John Cena's going to win because more often than not, John Cena wins the championship matches. Duh. And then you're in the exact same spot that you are in tonight. So you want something intriguing, you want something interesting, you want something that could potentially be memorable? Guess what? Here's what you should do. Here's what would potentially be an interesting move. Forget the title match. It doesn't matter who wins. It all matters who walks out as the champion. You want something interesting. You want something groundbreaking. You want something mind-blowing. You want something that potentially could elevate a man's career so quickly, so fast, and make him into the limelight and make heads turn? Seth Rollins is the way to go. You have him cash in his briefcase. You have him beat whoever the champion is after that match, and you have him become the World Heavyweight Champion of the WWE. You have him be the WWE World Champion. You do it. That would be something different. That would be something intriguing. Because then we could get, what could we get? We could get Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. Now, that feud could be elevated to an even greater scale, to an even grander scale. And that could be a main event, big time feud. You could have that Night of Champions. You could have maybe a triple threat in the mix, throwing in John Cena there at Night of Champions. You had Dean Ambrose beat Seth Rollins here at SummerSlam, and you have Seth Rollins be the champion. That makes Dean Ambrose should be the #1 contender. So you could potentially have that at Night of Champions. You could potentially do so. Have John Cena, you know, normally when he loses the belt, normally he loses for a reason. Normally when he loses, he leaves for a while. He left last year, so he probably could be gone for a few months, and we all know we want that. So you have John Cena leave. You have Brock Lesnar go off in limbo and do whatever the fuck he wants to do. And you have Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose in the main event at Night of Champions. That'd make me resubscribe. That'd make me continue my subscription. But in the end, I don't think they will do that. The timing would be off, but I think that would be the best bet, I think. So in the end, what about the SummerSlam? I think it potentially could be good, but also potentially could be bad. There's a lot of head scratchers. This SummerSlam needs to deliver in a big, giant way. You want people to resubscribe for $9.99 a fucking month that you've been plugging in, week out? You know? But then again, it could be really, really disastrous. Because in recent weeks, SmackDown's been unwatchable. And Raw hasn't been a whole lot better than SmackDown. Raw has been crappy, shitty, unbelievably bad in so many senses of the word. So this SummerSlam has to deliver. It has to. It has to deliver. I am Daniel Rock 08, and that is my little preview, predictions, whatever you want to call it, for SummerSlam 2014. WWE, do it. Have something interesting for once in your goddamn company. Seth Rollins should walk out the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I'm begging you. Freaking do it. Do it. Do it.